Hey class, it's Professor Jenkins and I want to welcome you all to week number 2. Week number two's topic is about supply and demand, one of the most important and fundamental concepts in the study of economics. Now, supply and demand helps us to understand how our free market economy works without a lot of people having to coordinate with each other. For example, you didn't have to call farmers to tell them how many eggs you were going to eat this week, so they had them ready and available for you. Nor did farmers have to call you and ask you, how many eggs are you going to be eating in the next week or the next month so I can make sure my chickens lay enough eggs? This is all done through the pricing system in our economy that controls the amount of a good supplied and the amount of that good that is demanded by consumers. So we're going to learn all about that today in our studies of economics. Now, don't forget to read the chapter. There are a couple important things that I want you to get out of this chapter. Number one, make sure you clearly understand the difference between quantity supplied and supply. Change in quantity supplied is completely different than change in supply. Change in quantity demanded is completely different than change in demand. Those are two key, that concept, that idea, that phrase without the word quantity means two different things is important for you to understand. Number two, make sure you understand how the market equilibrium is reached. It's the point at which the quantity supplied equals the quantity demanded at a given price. And then the most important thing that you're going to do in the chapter is understand how to predict what's going to happen to the equilibrium price and the equilibrium quantity when supply or demand shifts, as well as when supply and demand shift. That's right, you'll have a crystal ball. You'll be able to understand how the market works based on certain events happening. You'll be able to predict what's going to happen to the quantity supplied and the quantity demanded. Okay? There's only 2 assignments this week, but we do have a second discussion post. This is the first discussion post where you're going to try to find an article and post it online for us to all read about, an article that pertains to what we're talking about, economics and particularly supply and demand this week. And then we'll all comment on that article, or we'll comment on some of the articles. You don't have to comment on all the articles. So make sure you do that. If you haven't done your introduction post in our discussion board, please make sure you do that this week as well. And then there are 2 assignments, as I said, in Pearson and my Econ Lab, and those should be fairly straightforward. As usual, if you have any questions or any concerns, don't hesitate to call me or send me an email, and I'll be happy to answer your questions or set up some time to talk. Have a great week, everybody.